Like You Mean It by Slater Kenny. I'm your host, Corbin Scott. First, if you would, give it up for our last host, Kendall. Wow, just so much talent from before me. If you just tuned in, you're probably thinking, I can't believe we got stuck with this guy again. I'd rather listen to Campus Connect weather reports. And I hear you. Later on, I'm going to be talking about something that someone here at the station told me, in a roundabout sort of way. Stay tuned for that. Up next is Walk in the Park by Beach House. This is 91.1 The Junction. Seasons of Charade by Bird Talker. If you're looking for something fun tonight, the Chess Club might just be the place for you. They're meeting tonight in room 215 of Swarm. It's open to all levels of players, and it starts at 6 and goes to 8. My sister will be there, so maybe you can say hi. Stay listening. I'm going to talk about some pets. Sort of. This is 91.1 The Junction. Can't hardly wait by the replacements. Earlier I mentioned people at the station and pets. Well, what are these two things that have in common? Well, right now, there's both people and pets at the station. Anyway, the other day, I was waiting to go on air, and there's a few people at the station. I was just observing them like I normally do, and somewhere along the way I was told that I should be more opinionated. Normally, my opinion is pretty neutral for trivial matters, like the weather, but I actually do have opinions. I have some pet peeves. Stay tuned, and maybe you'll learn something. Up next is Robin's Egg, featuring I'm With Her by Iron and Wine. This is 91.1 The Junction. Moody by Royal Otis. The Career Expo is the largest career fair at MSU for internship, co-op, and full-time opportunities. The fair will be taking place at the Humphrey Coliseum on September 16th through September 18th. The 16th and 17th are specifically for STEM majors, but the 18th is open to all majors. More information on Cabo Connect. Stay listening to hear about some of my pet peeves. Soon you will hear Crack the Shutters by Snow Patrol. This is 91.1 The Junction. Green Light featuring Vince Gill by Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. I am still Corbin, and if you did not know, it's spelled with an A where you would typically put an I. This relates to one of my pet peeves. It's pretty easy, and I don't think anyone likes it, and that is people getting names wrong. If someone doesn't know how to spell my name, that's fine, I'll correct it. But sometimes it'll be right in front of them, and they'll still get it wrong. Come on, guys, I'm not liking your Facebook happy birthday if you can't copy-paste the profile you're on. Anyways, I have some more annoyances in the next hour. Up next is Ready or Not by Shaky Graves featuring Sierra Farrell. This is 91.1 The Junction. The Sun Hasn't Left by Modest Mouse. Corbin here, and I'm talking about pet peeves. Last thing was about people spelling my name wrong, and I come to realize that most things that annoy me are about when people get names wrong. Prime example of this is in the realm of entertainment. I'm not a huge fan of when people call movies shows and shows movies. An example of this is like, y'all hear about that new Tony and Ziva movie coming out? See how ridiculous that is? It doesn't bother me as much when there actually is a movie that goes with a show, and vice versa. Well, that's my soapbox for now. Up next is Bobby Socks by Green Day. This is 91.1 The Junction. Metal by the Beths. If you're interested in free food tomorrow around lunch, the Office for Student Wellbeing is having a well-being tailgate. Along with free food, you can also learn about the campus offices here to support your well-being all semester long. It will be 11 to 1 on the drill field. If you stay listening, I have some more pet peeves that revolve around names. This is 91.1 The Junction. Heavy Heart by Bartees Strange. Now back to pet peeves revolving around names. This is a very specific example. There's a dessert that I and everyone who is correct call dirt pudding. It is very easy to understand what it is. It's pudding in dirt, or crushed up Oreos, but some people have the audacity to call it dirt cake. Show me the cake and I will reluctantly accept it. I have been told that there are some versions that do have cake. Fair enough. I guess I'll let it slide there, but it'll be a challenge for sure. I guess I was just raised to stand up for what I believe. Sorry if I got a little heated there. On a different note, up next is Turn It Off by Paramore. This is 91.1 The Junction. Everybody's Song by Robert Plant. Join Mississippi and live healthy one step at a time by virtually walking across the great state of Mississippi. Walk 180 miles, about 8,000 steps per day, from October 11th through November 21st. The Mississippi State University Extension Center is hosting this challenge for individuals of any age and for teams. More information can be found at msu.ms/walkinmississippi. Up next is Elegantly Wasted by Leon Bridges and Jimenez Gutierrez. This is 91.1 The Junction. Bad Dreams by Teddy Swims. I have been, and hopefully will continue to be, Corbin. If you've been listening, you might have noticed all my name-related pet peeves. From my name to the names of desserts, I can get very opinionated when someone gets my version of the correct names of things wrong. Catch me tomorrow from 4 to 6, but for now, keep listening for some way cooler, funnier, and awesome host, and awesome music. Speaking of which, up next is Even If It Kills Me by Papa Roach. This is 91.1 The Junction. Snap by Rosalind. And I'm your host for the time being, Corbin Scott. Obviously, I'd like a big thank you to the previous host, the wicked one. And if she was green, I'd have a hard time winning her. I'm just messing, guys. Tracy isn't that evil. She's just a little bit evil. I'm an education major, and yesterday I went to observe a teacher. Reminded me of all the different teachers I've observed as a student. So stay tuned for Tales from a Homeschooler in Public School. Up next is Half a Person by the Smiths. This is 91.1 The Junction. Northern Attitude by Nilka Hahn featuring Hosier. If you're loving the music and want to see some live music, tonight in Lee Hall, the Battle of the Bands is happening. The doors open at 6 and music will begin at 6:30. There will be 5 bands and the winner will go on to perform the Bulldog Bash. So if you want to sneak peek at the amazing sounds of Bulldog Bash, you might want to check out Battle of the Bands. Stay tuned here for some anecdotes about some different periods of school in my life. This is 91.1 The Junction. Lay Your Ground by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Before I get into my stories about teachers, it's important to know who has homeschooled. I know the stereotypes, and I don't fall into all of them, but I definitely use the people that do. I first started public school in 9th grade, which happened to coincide with COVID. I remember dreading some of my classes, especially English. But once I got into English, my teacher was actually really good. She went on to become one of my most memorable teachers at the school, and even after again my senior year. Particularly good teachers should be one that can take a hated subject and make it enjoyed by anyone. She did just that. Up next is Billy Yeah 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 by Inhaler. This is 91.1 The Junction. Don't Let Go by Tom O'Dale. Orientation for 2025-2026 Bulldog Mentor Program is happening right now to the 24th of September. This is for students looking to connect with alumni for advice and guidance. Students who complete the program will receive swag, a certificate, and an awesome addition to their resume. Sign-ups and more information can be found with our upcoming next. So maybe check that out. Stay listening for some more teacher talk. Soon you'll hear The High Road by The Broken Bells. This is 91.1 The Junction. Billboard Heart by Deep Sea Diver and Iron Man Being Corbin. One time I had this teacher that was my 9th grade history teacher. He was my Mississippi history teacher. She had that class with my sister. She did this thing where she would say Shark Bait or some other Nemo reference and we would be quiet. Anyway, one time we were drinking a hit and she put this question and was like, what does Mrs. K say to get y'all's attention? And I got it wrong. I think I was the only person who got it wrong. So I guess she just didn't get my attention. No, we joked about it and it didn't bother me that much. And on a real note, she was actually a really effective teacher. And one of the reasons I'm an education major, I love education. Midnight in Maria by Miles Bigger. This is 91.1 Body by Briston Maroney. It's me again, Corbin, your host for the rest of the hour. If you caught me last hour, you know that I've been talking about teachers, and I will continue to do so. I had this one coach, he was a teacher and a coach, but not a coach in the way that you would typically think about coaches as teachers. He loved his subjects. I had him for both the subjects he taught. He also really liked movies. In both of his classes, I watched a movie about ancient sharks, and I also watched a movie about, like, the real story of Jaws. I liked his classes. They were fun, and he was pretty funny. Up next is Tia Taylor, It's You Laugh by Bombshell. This is 91.1 The Junction. Sushi and Coca-Cola by St. Paul in the Broken Bones. Looking for some after-dark fun to close out your week. Tonight, on the drug field, the Residence Hall Association is having a neon night party. Starts at 7, goes to 11. They'll have free food, really rock music, and even swag. So if you want to get your glow on, check them out. Heck, you can stay listening here. I got some more features to talk about. This is 91.1 The Junction. All About It by Boy Genius, which I have on a playlist or two. Speaking about being about cool about things, I have a teacher in English 3 who was really cool. He was a coach. His class was chill. The thing that really made him stand up to me, though, was his thoughts on the idea of teaching. He was under the school of thought that schools should prioritize learning more than they do getting good test grades. Think about this concept a lot, and hopefully I can implement it when I get to the point. He was that. Up next is I Can Change by LCD Sound System. This is number one. Everybody trains their voice in the machine. Join Mississippi and live healthy one step at a time by virtually walking across the great state of Mississippi. Walk 180 miles, which is about 8,000 steps per day from October 11th through November 21st. The Mississippi State Extension Service is hosting this challenge for individuals of any age and for teams. More information can be found at msu.ms/walkms. Soon you will hear from my Bonnie there. This is 91.1 The Junction. Call Me Whatever You Like by Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. I have been Corbin Scott, and the idea is that I will stay Corbin. Anyways, over the past little while, I've talked about teachers that have inspired me. But I also mentioned that I was homeschooled, so I'd be thinking, who was your favorite teacher? The cop-out answer would be my mother. But who would represent my favorite teachers better than myself? That's right, my favorite teacher will eventually be me. I'm just messing around, kind of. And I love all of my teachers equally. With that, that's the end of my time. Catch me next week on Thursdays and Fridays at the same time. Up next is Infinita by Sublime. This is 91.1 The Junction.